Hello everyone, and I am live, and we are doing stuff. I have I have the studio open, as you can see. I am a tiny bit sick today, so we will see how good we get through this. And yeah, I'm gonna start a bit about talk. I had a long day. I'm sorry. I gonna start talking a bit about the general stuff, what I want to do, what you're gonna see in the stream. Then we're gonna start the stream. While I talk, I will cut this bell pepper because I like bell peppers, and I try to. So give me a second. Okay. Um. Let's start with the important stuff. The bell pepper. So I decided I need to lose some weight. I need to get some arm strength. So I am working on exactly that. I'm working on my arm strength with some dumbbells. I'm working on eating healthier. So I'm going to cut open this bell pepper that I will then have something like healthy to snack on. And yeah, in this stream, what I'm going to show you is I want to do a story with the character that you see in the studio. Basically, I just set this up very, very basic. Basically, this is just the most basic setup I can do for this scene. We will add everything in as we go. I will also make some models because there are some models that I have not made. For example, there will be a treasure room where I have one part treasure already done. A totally not dubious chest that is totally not going to be a mimic. And there is obviously other stuff in the room as well. Just the mimic would be a bit boring, so we are going to have to make that, sadly. And yeah, this is partially of what we're gonna do. Also, I'm gonna start the music, which I have open, but I forgot to start it. Now we have some background music, which is the same as the other streams. So yeah, I haven't done a live stream in a while. There has been some stuff going on in my life. I've got rid of my roommate. Now I have the whole apartment for myself, which also means some more responsibilities that I have to take care of, which hadn't been taken care of before, and that means some more time. I'm also going to be out more. I have started playing competitive commander, or CEDH, or bracket 5 commander, for those who know what that is. And that means some weekends I will be out and about. For example, at the beginning of February, I will be on the other end of Germany effectively and play in a tournament. I will let you know how this goes. I will also at some point probably make a little video about my deck if it performs well enough that I'm happy with this. Yeah. That is everything for now. I have cut my pepper. And we are going to go into Daz. First things first, my Daz is currently set up. I have my scene, my environment, which we'll look into later. I have my smart content, which we will look into later. I have my whole sidebar thingy going up, which we will look also into later. We will need the render settings. We will probably need the shaping, posing parameters. Obviously, we will probably need a few of the other ones. And I have the timeline open, which we will need a lot. I tend to make these picture stories in one scene. Basically, I'm making one of the pictures, so I'm setting up one of the pictures, then I'm going 2 to 3 frames further, and then I'm going to make the next scene, and I'm going to show you how I set this up so the whole thing doesn't break. Okay, apparently the hammer already has a final key, which I actually didn't recognize, so we are going to delete this keyframe, and that is all the keyframes we have. Oh, wait. I just wanted to delete this keyframe, which I'm doing here. So let's look into the timeline for a bit as soon as I've made the background sound a bit quieter because it is very loud right now. We have I'm using the advanced view of the timeline, which means all the different objects have their own thingy here, and I will need that to move this around. They have all their own line here in the thing. I'm not sure why there is like the second one and why I cannot remove the second one. I guess because I kind of make it smaller because these three icons here are present, but it is what it is. Yeah, I currently have 91 or 91 frames open. I might need more, I might need less, I don't know yet. We will only make the first 2 to 3 pictures. I'm not going to show you everything because most of this is not okay for YouTube, but we'll see. Yeah, so currently in this scene I have the Rose Knight, turns to female. We're gonna call her I cannot type, Black Rose. I mean, the Thursday of the week goes long. I have a camera set up and I have the hammer currently set up like this. I will put the hammer under the Black Rose, so it is following her. Actually, no. I will show you later why. Yeah. The view is perspective view, so I don't actually accidentally move my camera around. And I'm currently working in filament because texture means I have the background enabled, which I currently do not want. iRay obviously needs way too much power of my PC, and cartoon shaded is just no. So filament as it is for now. We're gonna switch between these later, obviously, because we're gonna work with lights in Daz as well. What would be step 1? Set up the starting scene. You're correct. 100 points. I got a new light because my old light basically broke, and that means you can see more of the background, which is not as intended. Let's see if we can fix this, but I don't think we can fix this really well. For now I need another light. Hello there, nice of you to be here. I'm just checking if the light is getting better, but we are going to start. Yeah, let's start. We're in the scene, and I want the starting scene, which means what characters do we have, what do they do. I want to have 2 characters for the starting scene, and the environment I already made in the last video. We need the dungeon alley. This is effectively what I want. Camera. Okay, let's see. How can I set up the camera so that I see stuff through the okay. I want the camera to look through the open doorway. We're going to jump out. Basically, the camera is looking through the doorway and we're seeing what happens inside the battery modeled room. Everything is falling apart, especially my food supply is falling apart, which is not nice. Okay, so step one, we have the room. Let's see how the room looks if we go into IRA mode. Relatively bright. Why is that? That is because now let's look into Daz, because Daz has an environment setup, which means we have environment mode of dome and scene. We have like a dome that is like giving light. So basically everything is lighted by this infinite light. We can say we want only the dome, which kind of works. We want only the sky, which kind of works. And we want the scene only lights, which is a lot of light? Question mark? Here's a good tip. If you don't want to select your dungeon all the time, just click on this little X here, so the dungeon cannot be selected, and we are going to select the dungeon in the scene tab. Surfaces. The dungeon has torches. Why is this so bright? Let's check what happens if we... Why is this so bright? Okay. Are there any lights I'm not seeing? Camera. Okay. I'm not sure what's going on. Okay, so this is very bright on the outside, obviously. Okay, so this difference between perspective view... Ooh! And the camera, which... I'm not really sure. Okay, we're gonna delete tone level options and environment options. I'm not really sure why the perspective view is so bright. But for now we're gonna go back, because we know that the camera, if we go to the camera and the array. Okay, this is relatively dark, which is okay, which is kind of what I expected. What we're going to do is we're going to set up some additional lights. Point light, we're going to put this under the dungeon. For the mimic dungeon, we need to remove the walls for now, so we can actually work this. The point light. We're going to set up the point light with the torches, basically. So we're going to the light tab. The color should be some more yellow or orangey. And we need a lot more power, which means we're gonna just throw a 0 in there. Turn the thing back on and check what the array says. Okay, now it works as intended. What we're going to do is we're going to grab this light and make it a bit more reddish. Okay, what does the camera see? Okay, so we need a bit more power on this light. Let's say we make this a 25,000 light. Perspective view. Okay. We are going to remove the walls again because that was fun. And now we're going to duplicate this light. Here's a little tip: if you just duplicate the node, you basically just get the node. Basically, if I duplicate my rose knight, I get a wait, no, that's the wrong one. I get a more or less not clothed version. So if I want to copy the whole black knight, black rose with all her equipment, you have to duplicate node hierarchies. In this case, it's not really important because we are going to edit duplicate nodes. We're going to grab that and place it here. Edit, duplicate node, grabbing the new node and placing it here. Let's go back to array. Let's go back to the camera. And now if we put back the walls and as such have obstacles for our lights, we have a kind of diffuse looking scene. Whoop. There you can see sun sky only. The light is coming in from the side because that's where the opening is. That means we have sunlight everywhere. The dome only means we have only the light from the top, which would work, but we want the scene light. Oh, yeah, because I'm on top. And this is what we want. I will duplicate this node once more and put it here in the second room, because now when we look at the camera in the mode, we can see a bit more of the room we are in. Actually, we're going to dial down this light quite a bit. We're making this 7.5. We want this room to be darker, so it's just like part of the background. Also, we're going to move our viewport to lower. So it looks like we're looking up, which is what we want for the first scene. Okay. Okie dokie. Back to filament. And we have to set up our characters. First we're gonna set up the Black Rose with her hammer and everything. One thing is to set up characters in confined spaces like this is a bit of a hassle. It always needs a bit of a trickery. But we can probably do this without screwing up so much. Okay. The character. By the way, if you restore the T-pose, the character is porting to the 0 point, which I set up basically relatively close to where the scene starts. This doesn't have to be necessarily be a good idea, because if a lot of the scene is placed in another room, for example, then you have to move the character around a lot. Okay, she's facing that direction. More or less. I'm going to make the dungeon visible for now, so I can set this up better. Posing. Twist. She looks to the side. This is also twisted to the side, bent by about 65. 65 sounds fine. Actually, we're going to make this just 55. Yeah, this, wait, minus 60, okay. Yeah, we're going to give her like a fighting pose, basically. This also goes to the side. This also gets bent, twisted a lot. Bent. Okay. Now we're gonna see that everything works later on with the pose. We're gonna set up the hammer as well. Whoops. Oh, I just keep losing the hammer. Holy crap. Okay. Basically, we want to have the first scene mid-strike. She has just clobbered some enemy that we will put in. I just have to see if I have the model in or if I have to import the model, because I don't think I actually have this one saved. Bend. If I twist this, nope. I need to twist this and put it in front. Okay, this is obviously also twisted. She's looking to the side. Make sure the whole scene looks dynamic by giving her like a flying yeah. By the way, for example, the Dutch braid you can also zero pose, which just resets the whole pose of the braid or clothing, whatever you have. For stuff like this, where the thing was already set up for another scene, this helps a lot. And this does not reset, luckily, the whole thing. Okay. twist this. We're actually gonna need more angle on the hammer. And yeah, this is now comes the fine-tuning of the whole hammer thing, of the whole pose. Bend, a lot of front back, bend. Good thing is to like pin some parts, so like translation rotation, so I can try to get the hand closer to the hammer without breaking a hole. Okay, I don't think the hand goes any lower without looking really weird, so we're gonna twist this and move the hammer into her hand. This is fine. We're going to, oops, take this hand and also put it on the hammer. This is okay. Quick tip, something that I really like to use is the partial hands poses, because that means I don't have to do the whole hand by myself. That helps a lot. I just fine-tune this a little bit. Doesn't have to look perfect because nobody's gonna look that closely. Okay. Camera, and let's see if we put the thing back in. Okay, yeah, we see her like striking. We see the long hammer. We might want to move her a bit more into the picture. Whoop. Which means also the hammer has to move more into the picture so it's still in her hands. Okay. Recheck with the camera and it's okay. For face, mouth, it's probably open. She's probably like loud, yelling. She's looking down a bit. I don't think you can see that well. Okay, we actually need to move the light a bit up. Otherwise, we're gonna have a weird shadow from the wall. Now this looks better. This looks actually a bit better. No. This was fine. Okay. Let's see if we can put in the villain. But first we're gonna make sure we don't touch the lights by accident. Filament. I'm just gonna import all of these pieces. I have no clue where I have this. Okay, I have no clue what this is. This looks good. Yep. File, import. File import. File import. File. Okay. I need a Genesis 2. I cannot type anymore. I need the Fabrice for Genesis 9, Genesis 2 basic mail. There we go. We need this guy, and we need all the beast parts. We need beast neck. Everything becomes a full body. Okay, fire object transfer utility. There is a lot to do now. Mail takes the beast arms, accept, edit, object transfer utility. Make sure you don't. Make sure you do this not as fast because this might break relatively quick. Edit, object transfer utility. There's 2 and the legs, which is full body. Doesn't really matter. Here we go. We are going to surfaces. Look for some good textures for this. Might need this array now. Okay, we don't. No, okay, we see something. Roughness up. Glossy color. We're going gray. Glossy roughness up, and this is kind of okay. I mean, we only need this for one scene, effectively. This is only in the first scene. This skin. Okay, the skin. Diffuse color. We are going for the same. And this looks kind of fine, to be honest. The beast neck, beast head has eyes, which we are giving a different shader. They are emissive. Emission color. We are going to give it. I mean, it's a monster. It's obviously has red eyes. No sense in talking around this, and there's something about the luminance that I can show you, that I can tell you. You have usually CD per square meter. I use KC per square meter because you just have like a lot more power, and then I set the values down to something that works. Which is fine. Okay, we need a... Do we have a good pose for this that says I'm getting beaten up? Something that is like bending backwards. No, we don't. Okay. This might work. Beast head. Edit object was utility. In this male beast head headwear accept. Okay, let's see if we can okay, texture shade is broken, so we're gonna need this beast head. Expand from selected head. Oh, Why is this broken? Okay, file import beast head. Let's try this again. Edit object transitility. Again, it is to male. Beast head. Headwear accept. And here we go. Easiest thing is to copy this. Paste it. Eyes getting emissive again. And the emission color is red. Bang. Okay. Okay, let's actually go into the scene. Let's go into the camera. Put the thing back. Okay, that means we need to move Black Rose. We need to move her back a bit. Means we need to move the hammer back a bit as well. Rose Knight hammer. Okay. And now we can take our gender this to male. Resize him to the point of holy shit, this is way bigger. What we need to do is we need to grab the feet and to make them invisible. Opacity. And now we need to grab the toenails and make them invisible. Check that this works in iRay mode. Yep. Okay, we are working over the whole pose because this does not work at all. Posing. Whoop. Neck. Machibendo. This goes out. Twist. Now he looks much more like he got hammered. Let's move him right under the hammer. Youch. General code controls bend. Okay. We do not have contact. And now we have face meshing contact. Camera. Make dungeon. Okay, let's see. We want her and we want her. Okay, so this is the first scene basically. If we look into iRay mode, We don't see anything? Ah, now we see. Okay. Yeah, we're looking from the ground. We're looking up. Here's a good thing. We're gonna turn on the filter. That makes it so much cleaner. Yeah, the dungeon doesn't look that impressive. That's only background. We see the character and we see the hammer time, which is the important thing in this scene. And hello there. I was watching. Nice of you to be here. Okay. So much for the first scene. We're going back to filament mode, so we conserve a bit of power, and we're gonna jump out in the timeline. So we have to do a few things here. We're going to grab our Black Rose, which is our main character. And here's a little thing that I'm gonna show you that is kind of important. You can make keyframes. You can make keyframes, for example, for the hips, for all the different parts of her. What we want now is basically make a still image of what, like her pose. We want to conserve her pose in this frame completely. And here's a little cool thing. Right next to the key for make this a keyframe, we have the options object, node, recurse, node, and properties. Node means the one single node that we have selected. We can basically just make a keyframe for this left thigh, for nothing else, but for the left thigh. And then we have to do this for every single node that is in this character. Option 2, this would be node. Option 2, we go to properties, which is only like the properties of this, which is like how is it shape, post, etc. etc. But this is also not what we want, because this only works by node. Node recurse is almost the same. The details are very, very small. What we want to do is we want to go to object, which means all the nodes this object has, including all the clothing and the braid and everything, all the nodes under this first node. Now I have a keyframe. So if you want to do this, work with object. We're gonna grab the hammer, we're gonna give this a keyframe, we're gonna grab the dungeon, give this a keyframe just for good measure, and we're gonna give this one a good keyframe just for good measure. And that's basically it. Frame 1. No, I was in frame 90. No, I worked in frame 90. Which is not a problem, because we are going to do the following. We are smart. We're very smart people. Alright, the camera also should always get a node. We're going to delete this key. We're going to delete this key. Wait, no, that's not what we want. We want to delete this key. We're going to delete this key. We're going to delete this key. And we're going to delete this key. Which means there's no keyframes. There's tiny keyframes in the face, but we can like easily do that. Post controls, head, mouth, open, open, wide. Now she's screaming again. Eyes, this is fine. Okay, we're going to grab our Black Rose and we're going to select it keyframe 1. We're going to say, hey, this is keyframe now. This is a keyframe now. This is a keyframe now. Okay. This is the keyframe now, and this is the keyframe now. Now we're going to the very end. Scrolling up again. Delete keys. Hello? Delete select key. Delete selected key. Delete selected key. Things that are fun. Delete selected key. Huh. I wonder what I did now. I guess I know what I did. Where's my point lights? Huh. All the point lights got moved. So we have to set those up again, okay? That's because I didn't realize I was on the wrong keyframe, but that's okay. One thing that I don't like that Daz does is, like, if I move this, it just moves the selected node and not all the nodes that I selected, which is a bit stupid, but it is what it is. Okay, and now let's turn the Mimic Dungeon back on, jump into our camera. This is point light 4. Filament, iRay. Perfect. This is the first frame that we want, so we're just going to make sure we're going to tap all those again. Hammer, Mimic Dungeon also gets one. He also gets one. We're going to save. Save early and often. Trust me, save early and often. And we're going on to the second scene. I usually have a space of like 2 to 3 frames in between in case I'm like, oh shit, I want to put in another scene, I want to do I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna jump to 5, which means I have like 4 frames left. We're going to go into the perspective mode, and yeah, we're going to do scene 2, which will later turn into scene 3 because we forgot to do the actual transitional scene. Filament, thank you very much. So we are in the next room of this dungeon, which means we need more rooms. There's an environment. Nope. There we go, dungeon set. Clickety. I always forget I made this way too big. It doesn't really matter if you turn this. Just make sure that you put it somewhere, and I would suggest taking correct corners. We're going to make this also. I'm gonna scale this smaller. This should work. This should work. I mean, it works anyway, so whatever. We're gonna put this here. Actually, we're gonna put this here and turn it 270 degrees. Now here's something funny. I now jumped to frame 5, and if you go back, you have no keyframe for this. Basically, it takes the first keyframe it can find for this object and defines this as the normal keyframe in 0 without setting it a keyframe. But yeah, basically, which means if I go into the camera now and I go back to 1, you don't see it, which is what we want. Okay, we are going to set this up with some additional lights added. No. Create a new point light. Dungeon room. Dungeon room. Wait, no, this is point light. Point light 2. Accept. Okay. We have this here. There we go. First, we're gonna make this a color. This is going to be orangey because orange light is kinda cool. We are going to ramp this up to about 4500. We're going to put this into the dungeon indoor room, obviously. Edit, duplicate, node. Edit, duplicate, node. Ah, come on. Whoop. Edit, duplicate, node. So basically the character is now going into the treasure room, which means our black rose will also be over here. Her hammer, her trusty hammer is with her. Which... okay. So yeah. Treasure room. This is where most of the story will happen. Treasure room needs treasure. We're gonna come to that in a second. Treasure room also needs this. Get over here, my friend. Okay, you're a bit big. Pose, no shaping. Hello. Parameter scale. Let's see how big you are on this scale. You are still way too big. This is adequate. Okay, so we have this lovely thing sitting here, very nice and quiet. And okay, let's see how the light is actually in this room. Okay, we do have some lights. Just for funsies, we're gonna play around with this because I need to play around more with lights. This one is more white. So we have a red, a white, and a yellow light. Which means the scene is visible. Eh. The whole thing is visible if we then render it in iRay, but it is not overly bright. Like, it is there, but yeah. Now, this is a treasure room, and we don't have any treasure except for a chest, so logical conclusion, we're gonna make some. First I'm gonna save this, because we know how this is. I'm gonna jump over to Hexagon. Already thought about this a bit. They should take too long, but yeah. With all these stories I usually do, I get to the point where I'm like, hey, I actually need something that I haven't made yet, and then I'm gonna jump and make it and fill the rooms or whatever. We're also gonna fill this room a bit with some different items I already have, but we also want to make some treasure. So step 1. Okay. This is very, very simple. This is like, let's say, a coin, right? Oh, we are going to... give this a... material. Bang. We have a coin. Okay. So, 1 coin doesn't make a treasure, and we're not gonna make 100,000 coins to make treasure. What we're gonna do is we're going to copy paste this, and then we are going to... I need my 4 thingies again. Make different height stacks of this. And when we give this a golden okay, apparently we need to go a bit into detail, because this one decided to... Oh, what is this? Okay, this one decided to break. And you can fill this like with a lot of these things, depending on how much money you want, depending on how filthy rich you want this to look. Oh, there's 2 with the same size around each other. There's a shorter one here. There's a bit shorter one here. There's a really small one here. This is basically the whole trick. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna copy paste that. Like I'm gonna make a group of this. I'm gonna copy paste the group, rotate it a bit, and then put it here. I'm gonna copy paste this again, rotate it again, put this here. I am getting a call. What is this? Give me a second, guys. I hope you didn't hear all that. A friend of mine is going to help me move a couch on the weekend. Basically, I'm getting a new one. He's gonna help me drive the car, drive the truck, get the new couch, get it into my home. And we had to talk about that. But yeah, back to this. I'm so sorry for the break. So we have our little treasure pile. I could basically just for fun because I can. Yeah, you can also just grab this, make this in a kind of shape. Kind of shape, of course, kind of shape. This is how we talk now, kind of shape. Like let's say this is a goblet. We're gonna make this a little bit thicker. Now here's a little neat trick. If we want this to have a good edge, we're going to this, and yeah, now we have like this trinket, whatever you want to call this. That is just like in between, or let's say even better, it is turned 90 degrees. It is on the ground and like filled with more coins. For example, we're gonna copy this and we're gonna make it smaller, and we're gonna stick these coins inside, or we're gonna turn these coins, make them a bit bigger. Okay, so this is now filled with coins effectively. So yeah, you can make like all sorts of treasures. For this scene, I just want like piles of money for one. So we're gonna call this money piles. Export as money piles. And we are going to also need like a few more chests, so we are going to make some very, very simple chests. Whoop. Whoop. Okay. And again, you can make these very, very simple. We're gonna actually copy paste this. We're gonna extrude this, this here, this here, this here. You could probably do this even faster, but this was like the first thing that came to mind. Boom. We're going to very, very simply grab a few of these. Bang. We're gonna do the same here. We're gonna loop actually these two. Okay, this is a relatively simple chest. Bam. Okay, and we have a chest, like, let's give it a lock just because we can, you know. Okay. File, save as chest 2, bams. These two are getting very simple. UV maps, new wood, except everything almost else gets UV map, new metal. Except this one gets lock inner, and we are effectively done. Save, file, export, wirefront object, chest, simple, bam, save. Yeah, that's the whole thing. There's my Daz. File, import. There it is. Money piles. Okay, we have the money piles, which are gigantic. Probably we have the simple chest. Yep. Very normal simple chest. Okay. Resize. Whoops. Shaping parameters. Scale this to 10%. 10% is a bit small. 20. Let's say 15. Okay. Surfaces. We have the wood. We're gonna make this relatively simple. Yeah, this doesn't have opacity. The metal. Bam. Lock inner is going to be dash dams. Duplicate node. We now have a second chest. Okay, and that's basically the whole trick. Money piles. Okay, that's a lot of money. We are going to resize this to 30%, which is absolutely fine. Right, surfaces. This is only one surface, so we're gonna make this golden. Edit, duplicate, node, swash. Edit, duplicate, node. And you could make like a crown and other things and whatever else. Edit, duplicate, node. Let's have a little bit of fun. The metal, we're gonna make golden for this one. Edit, Duplicate node. There's another pile of money right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to grab all these things and we're going to move them into the dungeon indoors because they're going to be part of this. Gonna make sure we don't accidentally click on them. And now comes the fun part because we need the camera. We make sure we don't have anything we don't want in this. Okay. Now our victorious princess Black Rose is gonna strut up to the treasure. And since we're greedy, we're gonna open the biggest one first. What we can do is we're going to look into the poses by function standing. This one is fine for a initial strut. You're looking in the wrong direction, though. Posing. We're gonna rotate this down. Pretty sure the whole thing is broken, but whatever. Bend a bit less. Bend a lot more. No, we're gonna untwist this. And I'm gonna actually go into the collar and twist this some more. Left hand. Bend. And I think you already know what kind of thing I'm going for. Twist, bend, and it's hammer time. Whoop. She's a victorious princess. She can carry a hammer however she wants. In this case, like a boss. Now there comes a bit of fine-tuning with the fingers, but that's okay. Eh. This is often easier to do with just the mouse mode. And now if we jump into the camera, okay, we need her. We need her more in the picture, so she's already closer. Hammer is obviously following along. Okay, and now we have scene 3, but now we are... Right? Okay. Scene 3, we have like a dungeon room, we have coins, we have treasure. We're happy, but... we're gonna do first things first. Hey, Black Rose, here's a keyframe for all of you. Here's another keyframe. Here's another keyframe. Here's another keyframe. You don't need a keyframe anymore. You need a keyframe, and you need a keyframe. Okay, but now we're thinking, hey, how about we have like a scene in between, where we can see her like walk out of the door here. Like we see her walk through the door over the fallen fiend, and that means we're gonna grab this one. Do we have a pose where he's lying on the ground? Yes, perfect. That was easy. Donk. Okay. You get another keyframe, obviously. And Black Rose is coming back over here for obvious reasons. Now we're going to grab our camera, and we want the camera here, relatively close. We want to see her step over the dude, and this is where where the openings come in theory, if I didn't block it, but that's what I did, so I guess I have to live with that. Okay, camera set up. We're gonna grab our Black Rose. Eh. Okay, she's gonna carry the hammer on one shoulder, which means we need the right hand kind of like this. We need the hammer. Whoop. Whoop. And yeah, setting this up in a tight, confined space is kinda a bit frustrating at times, but that's why we usually don't do a whole lot of scenes in one of these. Okay, like this. Whoop. Okay, and we're going to move this hand here. Camera. Mouth. She's looking down on what she killed. And we have the first 3 scenes, basically. If we would now render them, yeah, select your camera, render settings, filtering is on, everything is set up, so... Oh no! I had the old bell pepper. So sad. No, 30 seconds. It's fine. We're going to the next scene. Okay. I'm going to render this. She has glowy bits, apparently. Okay, let's see. I mean, 30 seconds per picture is okay. But then again, I paid a lot of money for this PC, so it should do that. Huh! 02, save. And we have 03. Now we have the room set up, we have the light, the shoes could use a bit more color, but whatever. Later on, we're gonna work with a spotlight on the character. Right now, I want to hold the generality of this. And yeah, this looks just like stacks. Like, obviously in the foreground you can see it better. But this is okay, because the focus is on woman with big hammer and big chest that she is looking at. And the rest is just like blending into the background. It's there. We have some details, so we are like, okay, we have a dungeon kind of wall. This is a build room, brick wall. We have some chests. We have some money, gold, whatever in the background, and we have the big chest as well as the princess, Black Rose, in the character, in the picture, which is the central points. Also the light changed a bit. Like, we have the different light parts, the reddish light on the side. You can see it reflected on the chest, and we are going to see how this whole thing changes it up. This takes a lot longer, because there's a lot more details in this. So yeah, don't be miffed if this takes a bit longer at later turns, because the more characters you have, the more moving parts you have, the more this takes time. Okay, I'm gonna stream for 10 more minutes, and then I'm gonna turn it off, and okay, actually I feel better than this morning. This is nice. We're gonna start with the fourth theme. Why do I get a message that my channel is online? Yes, I know my channel is streaming. I am the one streaming on my channel. What the hell? But yeah, we're gonna have a full out melee with the chest, with the mimic. So yeah, let me know what you think about this. Let me know what you think about the workflow. If you have any ideas what I could do better, if you have any suggestions what could be easier, just like let me know and I will look into it. But yeah, God, I'm tired. Didn't sleep that well last night. And tomorrow is Love and Eclipse pre-release. I'm so hyped up already. Gonna go from work straight to the store. Gonna play some new cards. Gonna absolutely get wrecked in the tournament, but that's fine. I'm looking for a few new cards from the set. By the way, not the broken CDH card. The goblin. I don't need the goblin. I'm playing Boros. I'm playing white-red. Aggro. I'm not playing Winota, by the way. I don't even have Winota in the 99. That would actually be smart. Would it? I don't have that much. I don't have that many humans, so it wouldn't be smart. And she costs like what, 4 mana? I play commander that costs half that. 1 red, 1 white, and full aggro. And actually won one or more than one table already. So I'm looking forward to the tournament. which is very close. So I'm probably gonna next week I have morning shift, so there will most likely not be a video in the week, but on the weekend obviously. And yeah, I'm gonna see when I make the video about my commander stuff. This takes a lot of time. Okay, I guess I'm not gonna make more content. I'm not gonna continue after this. I'm gonna just end the stream when I rendered this render, but we will see about that. Also, this takes so much power that the stream is not working well. Holy crap. Which basically means I will take a lot of time. It will take a lot of time to make the whole thing, because these two characters will be in basically all of the next pictures. It's gonna be fun. We are at 3,500 iterations. Almost 5,000. No, we're at almost 5,000 iterations. And we're done. It's just level 3. Okay. And that is basically how I do my stories, with a lot of time, and in the downtime while I render the themes, I'm gonna do a lot of other stuff. Oh yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one on the weekend. Until then, stay healthy, stay safe, and I'll see you guys around.